still check your profile sometimes. I tell myself I don't care anymore, that I've moved on, that your life is no longer my concern. But every now and then, late at night, my fingers know exactly where to go, and suddenly I'm looking at your smile again. It's not because I want you back, at least that's what I tell myself. I still check your profile sometimes, just to see how you've been, just to know that you're still out there somewhere. I still check your profile sometimes, even though I know I shouldn't, because some habits take longer to break. I still check your profile sometimes, and I hate how familiar that feels. You seem happy, at least in the pictures, and maybe that's enough, maybe that's all I needed to know. Still part of me wonders if you ever look for me too. Questions linger long after people leave. Maybe healing isn't forgetting someone completely. Maybe it's learning to miss them less often. I still check your profile sometimes, but not as much as before. And maybe that's progress. Some memories fade slowly. I wonder if you miss me too. Do you ever hear a song and think about us? Do random memories still find their way back? Because they find me more often than I'd like. And some nights, questions become louder than answers. I wonder if you miss me too, or if I'm the only one still carrying pieces of what we used to be. I wonder if you miss me too, the way I occasionally miss you when the world gets quiet. I wonder if you miss me too, even for a second. Maybe you've moved on, maybe you've forgotten, maybe I'm just a chapter now. But part of me still wonders, not because I need you back, just because I'd like to know that I matter. I wonder if you miss me too. Maybe I'll never know. Some questions stay unanswered. Your name still hurts. wasn't expecting it. A random conversation, a familiar name, and suddenly my chest tightened. I thought enough time had passed, but healing isn't always linear. Your name still hurts, not like it used to, but enough to remind me of everything we were. Your name still hurts, like an old scar on rainy days. Some people leave, but their echoes stay. Some people leave, but their echoes stay. Your name still hurts, and maybe that's okay. Some wounds heal quietly. I pretend I'm over you. If someone asked me now, I'd probably say I'm fine. I'd probably smile and change the subject, because that's easier than explaining how healing works. How some days feel normal and others feel like yesterday. I learned how to function without hearing your voice, without seeing your name, without expecting your calls. But somehow that doesn't mean I'm completely over it. Moving on isn't a straight line, it's 1,000 small steps. I pretend I'm over you, and most days I almost believe it. I laugh again, I sleep a little better. I pretend I'm over you, but certain memories still find me. Certain songs still know exactly which part of my heart to reach. I pretend I'm over you, because saying otherwise feels harder. I don't cry the way I used to, I don't wait the way I used to. I don't replay old conversations every single night. But sometimes I still wonder how you're doing. Sometimes I still imagine running into you. And honestly, I don't know what I'd say. Maybe healing means not needing an answer anymore. I thought moving on would feel dramatic, like a final goodbye, but it happened quietly. A little less sadness, a little less longing, a little less hope, until one day you stopped being the first thing I thought about. I pretend I'm over you, but maybe pretending isn't the right word. Maybe I'm healing, maybe I'm learning, maybe missing someone occasionally doesn't mean I haven't moved forward. I'm not completely over you, but I'm getting there. feel like a memory now. There was a time when everything reminded me of you. Every street, every song, every quiet moment. Your presence lived inside every corner of my life. And I honestly believed that feeling would never leave. But time has a strange way of softening things. Even heartbreak changes shape eventually. You feel like a memory now, instead of an open wound. A story I carry, instead of a pain I relive. You feel like a memory now, and somehow that's comforting, because it means I've survived losing you. You feel like a memory now, and that's different from before. Sometimes I remember the way you laughed, the way you looked at me, when everything still felt simple. And for a moment I smile instead of hurting. That's how I know something inside me changed. The memory stayed, but the pain got quieter. I used to be afraid of forgetting you. Now I'm afraid of remembering you too much. So I've learned to let the memories exist without living inside them. You feel like a memory now, not a future, not a possibility, not unfinished business. You feel like a memory now, and maybe that's exactly what you were always meant to become. A beautiful memory, nothing more. I miss who we used to be. People always ask if I still miss you. And honestly, that's a difficult question, because the person I miss doesn't really exist anymore. The version of you I carry in my memories, the version who stayed up late talking about everything, the version who made promises and actually believed them. Maybe that's the hardest part. I miss who we used to be, before things changed, before distance grew, before silence became normal. I miss who we used to be, when everything felt easy, when loving you didn't hurt this much. I miss who we used to be, more than I miss you. Sometimes I revisit old photos, not because I want you back, but because I miss the feeling of those days. The certainty, the comfort, the excitement, the belief that we'd last forever. I didn't just lose you, I lost a version of myself too. And maybe that's why moving on feels complicated, because what we became. I don't look for you anymore. There was a time when every crowded room made me search for your face. Every notification made my heart race for reasons I couldn't control. I looked for signs, for reasons, for explanations, anything that could make sense of what happened. And honestly, I spent too much time searching for answers you never intended to give. I thought closure would come from you. I don't look for you anymore in passing cars, in familiar places, or old conversations. I don't look for you anymore the way I used to, and maybe that's healing. I don't look for you anymore because I've started looking forward. Sometimes your memory appears without warning, a song, a photograph, a familiar street. But memories don't control me now. They visit, then leave, without taking pieces of me with them. That's progress, even if it's slow. The hardest part was accepting that some questions will never be answered. And maybe that's okay. Maybe peace was never about understanding everything. Maybe peace was learning to live without it. I don't look for you anymore, and life feels bigger now. I don't look for you anymore, and my heart feels lighter. I don't look for you anymore because I'm finally finding myself. I stopped searching and started living. Maybe we weren't meant to last. For a long time, I fought that idea. I wanted every ending to have a mistake attached to it. Something we could fix, something we could change, because accepting reality felt impossible. But time teaches lessons that denial never can. Some people are chapters, not entire books. Maybe we were meant to last. Maybe forever was never part of the story. Maybe we were meant to meet, to change each other, then move on. Maybe we weren't meant to last, and that doesn't make it meaningless. to think an ending meant failure. Now I understand some relationships succeed by teaching us something important. He taught me vulnerability, patience, hope, and eventually letting go. Not every goodbye is a tragedy. Sometimes people leave after serving their purpose, not because love wasn't real, but because growth requires movement. And staying would have stopped both of us. Maybe we weren't meant to last, and maybe that's okay now. Maybe the beauty was always in the experience. Maybe we weren't meant to last, but we were meant to happen. Some stories end and still remain beautiful. Thank you for the memories. I never thought I'd reach this point, a place where your name didn't automatically hurt, a place where I could remember without breaking. For a while I thought healing meant forgetting. Now I know it means remembering differently. The pain faded, the lessons stayed. Thank you for the memories, for the good moments, for the laughter, for the late night conversations. Thank you for the memories, even the painful ones, because they helped shape who I became. Thank you for the memories, even though we didn't last. There are still photographs, still songs, still pieces of our story, and maybe there always will be, but they don't hurt the way they used to. Now they simply remind me of a chapter I once loved, and that's enough. I don't need the past to come back, I don't need another chance. I just needed time to understand that gratitude can't exist beside heartbreak. Thank you for the memories, ooh, for everything we shared. Thank you for the memories, for helping me grow. Thank you for the memories, and for teaching me that I can survive goodbye. Thank you for being part of my story. I'm finally okay. I never thought I'd say those words honestly. For so long, healing felt impossible. Like every step forward was followed by 2 steps back. But somewhere along the way, without noticing, things started changing. Not all at once, but little by little. I'm finally okay. Not because I forgot you, not because the memories disappeared, but because they no longer control me. I'm finally okay, and that feels like freedom. I'm finally okay, and I fought hard to get here. There are still difficult days, still moments when nostalgia visits, but sadness doesn't stay the way it used to. I've built a life that exists beyond heartbreak, a future that doesn't depend on the past, and that's something I'm proud of. If I could talk to the version of me who cried every night, I'd tell them you're going to survive this. You're gonna laugh again, you're gonna love again, and one day you'll realize the pain didn't win. I'm finally okay, and that's the ending I never thought I'd reach. I'm finally okay, my heart feels lighter. I'm finally okay, not because the story changed, but because I did. I'm finally okay, and this time I truly mean it.